Welcome to Decode Dune, an exegesis of the Dune universe.
Welcome to Decode podcast, Dune edition. Mike's here, Jeff's here.
Hey, Mike.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm well. This is our third episode in one day. We're pretending like we just are talking for the first time, but we're doing that for you, the audience, because this is the third episode we've recorded today, 2/13/2022.
Technically, it's the fourth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because someone we're a blame-free culture here.
Yeah.
So we don't need to say who, but someone did not press the record button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here, we're recording. We're on page 366 of our edition of Dune.
Yeah.
In the last episode, Jeff killed your dreams. That tough times, hard scrabble people from the hinterlands never take civilization. And the Fremen, in this case, yes, they were tough, but ultimately they got the training and resources from the Empire. All they had was just kind of their own little desert discipline. It's really all they had.
And a religious fervor that could be exploited, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So should I start by reading the thing? Okay.
Yeah.
It's very long today, so prepare yourself. Get a pillow.
Yep.
Snuggle up. Here we go. The Fremen were supreme in that quality the ancients called Spenungasbeugen. I'm definitely sure that I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
Which is the self-imposed delay between desire for a thing and the act of reaching out to grasp that thing. From the Wisdom of Muad'Dib by the Princess Irulan. So basically, the Fremen were good at the marshmallow test.
Is that the little kid one where you get more marshmallows if you wait or something? Like they add?
Yes, that's what's being described here. If you put two marshmallows in front of a Fremen, if you put one marshmallow in front of a Fremen and tell him if he waits until you return, he gets a second, that Fremen will wait.
Mm-hmm.
That Fremen wants two marshmallows always and never one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. That's all you need really in life.
True. Yeah.
Some people don't understand how time works. So we tend to think that waiting for the second marshmallow is the right thing to do. But, imagine you're that Fremen waiting patiently for your second marshmallow, and Harkonnen fucking lays bomb or whatever blows your ass up. How many marshmallows did you get? Zero, motherfucker.
Right.
Goose egg.
Right.
So, bird in the hand. If you know what I mean.
Or you wait even longer for a third marshmallow. You tap out at that point. You eat all three. You get sick from the sweetness. You puke it up. It's like as if you never had any marshmallows.
Yeah. Then some animals who enjoy marshmallows come and it's the whole circle of the marshmallow.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I sometimes look at your face to see whether I'm being funny or not. And almost always what is reflected back is a deep sadness and what I interpret as a longing for me to shut up.
Oh, that's rough.
I'm just kidding. You just don't crack up the way that I sometimes need you to. That's usually because it's not that funny, but yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
I just like the idea of the Fremen barfing up the marshmallows, but then a whole host of animals like Bambi and Thumper and the desert hawks and whatever else coming to. And also, what do the Fremen make marshmallows out of? Does the still suit generate the marshmallows?
I don't think so.
What do they come out of the thigh pads, Mike?
No, the thigh pads is where the feces is processed.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No eating caca.
No. Even if it looks like a marshmallow, don't do it. That's our public service message for today.
Why does caca look like a marshmallow? That's gross.
I said if.
Even
if.
I shudder at the idea of when it will.
Have you ever had Count Chocula?
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So where are we? We're back with Jessica and Paul.
We're at
and
the Cave of
Shawnee.
Ridges. And
Yeah.
Paul and Jessica are vibing,
They are vibing. Yep.
I guess.
The
I mean,
Cave of Ridges
she's
at
telling him to
dawn
hurry
break.
up. She's,
Yeah.
she's saying you don't really have the desert skills.
Yeah. Chani's like really being kind of a jerk here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever go for like a nice hike and there's someone who just wants to go faster?
I'm that person usually.
Ruins the vibe.
Yeah.
You should go on a hike with my wife.
Why? Because she pushes you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. We had to walk the entire island of Manhattan
Oh wow.
because we were there.
Yeah.
And the kids and I were ready to drop dead. And my wife and I got one of our, husbands, wives get in fights on family outings. That's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
And the big fight was over my wife refused to get in an Uber with us when we were all nearly dead. She basically was saying, "You're all pussies, keep walking."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How far away was the Uber from the hotel you guys were staying at? Like, I assume.
I don't know. We were just dead. It could have been 20 more feet. But we were just dead.
And she was like, "I'll meet you there."
Yeah. She's like,
"I'll see you there later."
Yeah. And literally giving us the judgy, like, "You're all pussies" face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
She would have been good.
How'd you guys walked?
Well, the island of Manhattan is like 26 miles long, I think, or something, 20 something miles long. And we probably lapped that fucker at least once.
Wait, are you talking about like you started at Battery Park and just started walking uptown?
Yeah. And then back. We were everywhere. It was horrible. We went to the Brooklyn Bridge. We went to wherever the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire was, because solidarity with our working brothers and sisters. Anyway, we went all over the place.
Yeah.
Until we couldn't. Literally, the kids and I were crying.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on record. I was crying.
Right.
I was ready to go. We once went to see the cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C. Same thing. It was referred to as
okay.
It's very white privilege, but it was like, we call it the Baton Death March.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's referred to in our family lore as the Cherry Blossom Death March, which is very poetic and also exactly what happened. And my wife just looks at us like we're terrible humans, which is how Chani is treating Paul right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
I'm looking up the distance, just hypothetically. Battery Park to the Empire State Building is 3.3 miles. Battery Park to, let's see here, Central Park.
Are you going to call me up at the end of this? Or are you going to go, yes, your wife is right?
No,
Probably.
I'm just curious. I've done like, I'm trying to think how far did we
So Manhattan is 13 miles long and it's
22 miles long, I thought.
No, I was wrong. It's 13.4 miles long and 2.3 miles wide.
Yeah.
And we walked the entire
Battery to Central Park is 4.6 miles.
Yeah,
wow.
It's 22.7 square miles.
Yeah, that's longer. I mean, yeah, take an hour and a half to walk there. Yeah, that's.
Oh, we walked for way longer than an hour and a half.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like yeah, it was hours.
I like it. Yeah, that's my kind of shit.
You're good.
Yeah.
You and Kate are gonna get along.
I would in theory walk up like one way and then walk back the other way.
Yeah, and judge your mate for crying about it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, in for a penny, in for a pound, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, well, so this is what Johnny is doing to Paul, making him feel
he's
like
a soft ass off-worlder.
Yeah.
So
Stilgar remembers Paul, right?
Yeah,
go ahead. No, you go.
They're not at the siege. They're at like a way station in between where they were and the siege. It's not really clear. It seems like they've been away for some time. He mentions we need to sleep well tonight because when we get to the siege tomorrow, they're
Bless you.
Sneeze. Stilgar mentions when they get to the siege tomorrow, their families are gonna take up all their time. I don't know if that's because they've been away for. It seems like that's because they've been away for some time. Because later on, it's also mentioned that they have liter johns of water, and that there are a couple people in their group who have lost some of their water by accident, and consequently are going to have a hard time by the end of the day or end of the night. So that's happening. On page 371, I have a note here. Either a great neg or a callback to the chapter intro where the Emperor may have also passed on Jessica. Oh, there's a moment where Stilgar kind of is like, I don't want to fuck you.
Yeah.
He's like, people are thinking I would, but here it is. Before she could prove this, he said, I do not necessarily offer myself as a mate. Nothing personal, for you're beautiful and desirable, but should you become one of my women, that might lead to some of my young men to believe that I'm too concerned with the pleasures of the flesh and not enough concerned with the tribe's needs, even now they listen to us and watch us. So this, what I'm saying is either that was, it's one of three things. It's a neg, which doesn't turn out to be in the long story of the book. Two, it's just simply the truth, but it also is a nice callback to when a couple episodes ago, the intro chapter is, it sure sounds like Jessica was presented to the Emperor. And he was like, she looks quite nice, but I think she'll make a better gift than something for my own use. And that seems to be this strange place Jessica has found herself on at least two different occasions.
Yeah, I read this slightly differently. Where this is a great, if you read the Reddit thread RBJJ, this is a very commonly discussed theme. So Stilgar says, we must be getting back to the others, else my people may suspect I dally with you. Some already are jealous that my hands tasted your loveliness when we struggled last night in Tuono Basin. So what Stilgar is saying is some of these white belts think that when you were straight kicking my ass, I was getting a little Stilgar boner. So people often think this in BJJ that, I don't like to roll with women, I'm uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. Listen, these women are trying to fucking kill you. And if you're thinking about anything other than how do I keep this woman from killing myself, you deserve everything that happens to you. I have rolled with a lot of women, all different shapes and sizes and dispositions. Every one of them wanted to break some part of me or make me tap before that happened. That's all they want. And in this scenario, all Jessica wanted was to save her own life. So the fact that there are some people out there thinking, and of course, Stilgar wanted to live, right? So I just think it's so silly that this idea exists. And I love that it's in the book of, there are some people who are jealous because as you were kicking my ass, like our bodies touched. It's the least sexy moment of my life is when I make that gurgling noise because a woman has fucking got a hold of my throat. And I have to tap or pass out. But the white belts of RBJJ love to try to sexualize that scenario.
I don't really have any idea what RBJJ is obviously the Reddit. Is there a lot of talk?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like an everyday thing. You would not have to look for long to find the question of like, am I the only person who's uncomfortable rolling with women? Blah, blah, blah. It's inappropriate. Touchy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird and dumb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you agree, Mike.
Yeah.
If you have I guess the only way in which it wouldn't be weird or dumb is when you just get off on being nearly killed.
If anything,
in which case everyone would give you a boner, right?
I don't know. My hot take would be if you read into it sexually in a pervy way, then you probably should like it. But
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but
I
then,
guess
you know,
don't. I guess don't like it. You know.
I just find it. Oh, I guess what I'm saying is, when do you have time to perv out on it? Because as far as I can tell, the women that I'm rolling with are trying to cause me injury.
Yeah.
I feel like if I stopped defending myself to have a pervy moment, something would just snap or I would be strangled. Like, I don't know where these white belts find the time to be considering all these other weirdo options.
I don't know, maybe if they're rolling with another white belt female who doesn't know anything or something.
But they both don't know anything, so they're both equally. Anyway, sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean, I guess
yes.
that just opens the door to two people rubbing their bodies against each
Yeah,
other.
then I wonder what they're doing. Like, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe there's a white belt version of jujitsu that's more like sexy times, and I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But so far, no, that is not. It has not happened to me. You would think if that were true, then the odds would be that at least one training partner would have been like, "Hey, that was pretty good for me. Was it good for you?"
Yeah.
But that has never happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say none of this has been my experience.
Yeah. Try asking the next person you roll with to make you a sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, I do.
Or just
I mean,
light up a smoke and lay on your elbow.
I mean, I guess I would say before I met my wife, there probably had been a flirty role here or there.
What?
But
Is that a thing?
Yeah, if you're already flirty in the context of your relationship with the person.
Oh, right. There's some prior
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But there wouldn't be. Okay.
But there
so
is,
maybe it's because I'm an ugly old man.
No,
so then people are just like, I got to get this.
But there isn't that with anyone else. Like, I'm talking about like two women in the history of my BJJ.
Right. But there was prior something that made it safe to be flirty. Because if it wasn't safe to do that, they're just trying to kill you. Am I wrong there?
Yeah.
Every woman at 10th Planet that I've ever rolled with has tried to savagely heel hook me.
I'll make it a lot easier and
help me out here.
Concrete. Jennifer Dietrich teaches the Saturday class, and we also were at a open mat on New Year's Eve. There is nothing but jujitsu when we've rolled.
Right. And she's a straight up killer.
And she's got a lot of techniques, a lot of pressure. Right.
Also very beautiful.
I'm not
I guess
going
for people who don't know who she is. Also very beautiful, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to name names for obvious reasons. But yeah, in 2014 and 2015, there was someone else who flirty with doing warm-ups. I was single. I was blah, blah, blah. And then when we rolled, it was like, oh, here's our in the gym opportunity to continue this little game we're playing together.
I hope the video file gets released.
Yeah, but I mean, but where I'm going with this is where I would assume that any of the people who end up in BJJ couples, pretty sure this is how it starts.
That's fascinating to me. Okay, so I'll rethink.
Well, you've been married the entire time that you've been training, right?
Well, that doesn't mean that couldn't happen. But also I look like an angry emaciated chimpanzee. But that could still. I mean, my wife loves me, right? But here's the thing that I don't understand. There's the murder practice part. Like, it's the most high stakes place. Like, if you were wrong, the consequences would be like
wrong about what?
About what was happening.
Oh.
If I misinterpreted, so let's say take Jennifer. Sorry, Jen. I hope that when you listen to this, this all makes sense. Let's imagine I go to Jen's class and she makes some kind of joke while she has me in a Kimura. And which is probably how it's, or like a rear naked choke or whatever. She's like, haha. And I misinterpret that or whatever. I just interpret it as flirty and I'm wrong. Then, my Adam's apple explodes or she breaks my arm. Like, that's how that resolves if I'm wrong. So the
Yeah.
stakes are really high for flirting in that context. No,
I would say it would be weird for the first time there to be some flirting to be when you've already
has to be pre-established.
Yeah, right.
And even then, why are you doing jujitsu? Because still, I don't understand. Like, there's a definite difference between sexy times and trying to break somebody's arm in my book. So I'm very surprised at you young people who are like, I get confused.
Well, I would say I never got confused. It was very clear. It was very clear the girl who I've already been flirty with and I are doing a flow roll, and it's playful.
Oh, I guess I just don't believe in flow rolls. I would have taken that as a sign of weakness, which I would have exploited and broken that poor girl's arm.
I'm like 165 pounds. She's like 110, right?
So, yes.
And this is in 20,
Yeah, use your natural advantages.
Anyway, I think we've gone down a weird place. All I'm saying is,
I'm kidding, right?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. But also not kidding in the sense that I find it strange. But now you've opened my eyes.
I find these white belts, what they're saying does sound strange.
It sounds pervy, right?
It sounds, yeah. The idea that every role has a potential for that is pervy and weird.
Yeah. So Fremens,
yeah,
based on the commutative property of this conversation, these Fremens that Stilgar is referring to are also pervy and weird. Because they're basically like, you got to have sexy times with that woman who almost killed you.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
that would be like watching Jen choke someone unconscious and then being like, "Well, why didn't she choke me out?"
Yeah, unclear if he's saying he felt any of that so much as
no, he says they felt.
No, I know, but yeah. We don't know if he's in agreement or not. I mean, he kind of insinuates that.
Oh, I thought he's drawing a contrast between himself.
I mean, I think.
But it's okay.
He kind of is, and he kind of isn't. Maybe. I mean,
I overplayed this hand. I thought you were going to follow more than you did, and then I learned something here, which is that sometimes people are having like little sexy times when they're doing jujitsu. That's a surprise to me.
I mean, same. Let's just put it the same as like not just jujitsu, but work is work. You're there to get paid, but you also know that on the side, there have been people when you were working at your different places where those two people, in addition to the marketing meeting, also ended up with a little connection that didn't just limit itself to the marketing conversation.
Yes, but the difference here is one is like yeah, anyway, I do know that that's true. And when you put it that way, it makes me feel dumb. But then I have to remind myself that people are really trying to kill each other. Like very lovely people have tried to hospitalize me.
Well,
so
yeah, sure.
I never felt like there was a moment where it was safe to even like ponder, could there be some secondary objective here? Because the minute that
but I mean, yeah, look, I'll just go with like a 2014 example.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she was trying to kill me, but she also liked me. And there's a fine line between.
And how did you not use that to win? Sorry, I'm just joking. I'm
just
joking. It's a joke here. That's a joke.
I probably did. I probably just held her in side control for a while, or let her. I mean,
and then you make some small talk, like come here often.
Maybe a little bit. But my point is,
I've noticed you around the very disgusting drinking fountain that has never had its filter cleaned.
That didn't exist in 2014.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to drink your own water from out back.
Yeah, that was at Top Out.
Yeah.
Across the street. I don't remember what the drinking facilities were there. But yeah. Anyway, no, those white belts are being weird.
Okay. Well, so are these Fremen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to bring it full circle.
They're being boyish.
They're being weird. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Well, it's also a little bit sexist because, it's very clearly sexist because part of it is that idea in the 2014 example is this girl had no chance on me, even though she was flailing and trying her best to smash me. It was
Yeah.
cute. It was cute.
Have you ever been accidentally knocked out?
Accidentally,
I just
no.
think you guys are bringing the wrong attitude to this. But anyway, yeah, it is sexist.
No, but
too. It's sexist and presumptive about
Yeah.
that person, right?
But Jeremiah Garber and I more or less quasi KO'd each other.
Nice.
He shot a double leg. I sprawled, but the mat was slippery.
Yes.
And the top of his head went right into my jaw.
Yeah.
And we both were like, there's like a minute left. Like, we're
Can't
done.
go. Yeah. Did it cut the bottom of your chin?
No,
Oh,
it just fucking, we both were like seeing butterflies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, sprawls are hard. Sprawls and hip checks against a double leg also very painful.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned sexist because Jessica goes there a little, although still in the sexist universe that that Frank has created, because she reminds him that she was a Duke's lady.
Mm-hmm.
If it were me, I would have reminded him that I just kicked his fucking ass.
Yeah.
But Jessica went a different way with it.
Oh, right. Because don't talk to me that way because I could kick your ass first. Don't talk to me that way. I'm a lady.
Yeah. But fine.
I will be treated like an upper class lady.
Yeah, it went instead of just like I'm a better fighter than you, she went for class warfare.
Uh-huh.
But she gets to win on either account. So
then there's this other cool moment where she's like, he wants a sign from me, but he doesn't want to he doesn't want to give me a hint because that will give me too much of a chance to I can prove the prophecy, but if he gives me too much of a hint, then it will be unclear.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't. And then there's this poem thing. Maybe it's the writing. I didn't fully understand this part. Is she's like kind of in one part of this cave, kind of like, and she recites this poem, and then like out of the shadows, a couple people respond with sort of the call and response that you do in this. When this poem is read, you're supposed to respond away. So she doesn't get the clue, but she does end up saying the right words in the right situation to be confirmed as a Sayadina, which is their word for a Reverend Mother, and Reverend Mother is a straight up Bene Gesserit term. So they're just straight up using Bene Gesserit terminology in their religion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's where we get to here, right? He reads to Alat, the sun, whom he defied and subjugated. He reads to the sadhus of the trial, and this is what he reads. Mine enemies are like green blades eaten down that did stand in the path of the tempest. I don't know why they would have a metaphor for green grass on a desert planet, but fine. Hast thou not seen what our Lord did? He sent the pestilence among them that did lay schemes against us. They are like birds scattered by the huntsman. Their schemes are like the pellets of poison that every mouth rejects. A trembling passed through her. She dropped her arm. Back to her from the inner cave shadows came a whispered response of many voices. Their works have been overturned. The fire of God mount over thy heart, she said, and she thought, now it goes in the proper channel. So this is how she fixed it, right? She gets the call and response, and then she's now accepted as being a Sayadina, and will then eventually become a Reverend Mother, right? Which really sets shit in motion, but we won't talk too much about the coming books.
How do you think she land? I mean, because it's Adab, Ibn Qutayba. As far as the spot where the dust ends, she stretched out her long arms, seeing stuff. Okay, so she did a couple little clues to see if she was headed in the right direction. She
was trying to figure out, like, do I need to fuck this guy and have kids with him?
Yeah.
In order to secure a good place for Paul and I, or do I have to go some other route?
Right.
And she was also looking to him because I think he was kind of asking himself the same question.
Right. Well,
where is this going to go?
Well, the other thing is she also probably has a couple of these poems under her belt, and she was also trying to figure out which was the right one.
Yep.
right? Because remember earlier that the maker thing, right? She stopped at maker when she heard that was all that was needed to be said. She could have continued with saying of death, but that's a thing.
So then when he confirms that she's going to become a Sayadina, he says that you may pass within to become a Reverend Mother, depending on what Shai Hulud allows, right? Yeah. All right.
She's like, I'm gonna become a mom in your religion. And
so she had to become a mother anyway.
Right.
One way or another, right? A mother to a man or a mother to the community.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting because he kind of put it in that direction, like, this would be a good way for me to also not have to deal with the possible repercussions of adding you to my stable.
Yeah. He's got some ladies already.
Yeah.
Wow. Stilgar.
Yeah.
Okay. He must have a lot of water.
Yeah, he definitely does have a lot of water.
All right. So after their sexy times, now we've got Shani and Paul. Shani is speaking some Shakovsa to him.
Yeah, be like Haifa, she whispers. Yeah. Yep. Classic be like Haifa.
Is that what your friend said to you before she tried to get to side control?
Yeah, that's right. Be like Haifa.
All right. Yeah. So I thought Paul didn't understand the Chekhovsa language, but she's saying it to him anyway.
Yep. Stared at Paul with a look of wonder. Trying to still the tempest within.
Meow.
Oh, but this terrible, he knew nothing could stop what had begun of this morsel of food. Terrible purpose.
Terrible purpose.
He's eating the leaf bird spice snacky.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna start tripping when this thing, now that I've eaten this. And what's gonna happen? Right?
The race consciousness that he could not escape.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's tapping into it. Yeah.
There was danger he felt.
Yeah.
All right.
He sank to the floor, sitting but giving up to it. Awareness flowed within him. Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like him seeing the options for the future isn't really that special.
No.
Like,
what use is seeing the future or understanding the highest probabilities if you don't really fucking do anything?
I mean, it's kind of like when the shaman of the tribes in Peru were like, please don't come here to do ayahuasca retreats so that you can figure out how to be a better digital marketing manager.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than I don't think he's really seeing that much mystical stuff. Like, I think he's seeing, like, what if
it's all transactional right now. He's not a mystic. He's not a mystic.
It's all been laid out. Well, it's all been laid out in front of him pretty easily, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
This is like if you ever meet someone who's the children of wealthy parents, but not like wealthy parents who just also inherited that money, and like parents who actually took the time to kind of show the strategy of what they're doing so that their kids learn. They can see things that most people who haven't had that upbringing of the same age are just not going to have, because they index or focus on smaller type items, right? They don't see the possibilities because the idea of having hypothetically $20,000 to invest doesn't occur to you if you're not from that kind of family, or it's never been an option. So where am I going with this? I'm going to say Paul's prescience is, in my mind, the amount of computational data that in his position, if I went and took a nap, I would wake up going like, I know how I'm going to spend my afternoon. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense.
I'm the Duke's son. I got these people, they're prepared for me. Turns out my mom can teach them how to fight, but they're naturally pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's what we could do. It's not really that brilliant.
No, as a matter of fact, he's got enough time to have a love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. So I think things are definitely going to start heating up.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is a good place for us to close
This chapter,
because both this chapter and this podcast for today.
okay.
And I look forward to the next chapter. So we'll be on 376 or something.
Yeah, the knife fight, basically, which catches us up to the movie, which would be nice, I think, to get past what we've already kind of experienced in the movie more recently, and then get to stuff that I haven't read since 2020.
Yeah.
You don't want to cover the knife fight the next chapter today?
Although I'm surprised we popped that in there.
Wait, what?
I thought we could have closed out this chapter and then have that discussion.
Oh.
But no, I gotta get.
You gotta go? Okay, cool. All right. Well, you know where to find us, y'all. You've already heard this message. So stay tuned for the next one.
See ya.
All right, later.
All right, bye.
Like and subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast. And to hear more readings, become a Patreon supporter at Patreon/Decode Podcast.